In this example, we're looking for sine of 2 times theta, and we have the same information as the previous example. Cosine of theta is equal to 5 over 13, and that angle theta is between 3 pi over 2 and 2 pi over 3. So let's take a look at how to find sine of 2 theta. So we saw previously in our formula that finding sine of 2 of any angle, 2 times any angle, is going to be 2 times sine of that angle times cosine of that angle. So we have 2 times sine, I'll use theta since that's what we're using here, times cosine of theta as well. So we actually have this part already. We have cosine of theta. We know that's 5 over 13, but we don't have sine of theta. So what we need to do is we need to dig a little bit, and we need to find out what sine of theta is. So we know, using x, y, and r, that we can find it. All right. So cosine is x over r. So we have 5 and 13. Now keep in mind that this could have previously been 2 negatives that eventually canceled out. So it's going to be important to figure out which quadrant we're in. It may or may not be the case. So we can go ahead and figure out what this is going to equal. So we can do x squared plus y squared equals r squared. If you know the special triangles, you don't even have to do that. But 5 squared would be 25. 13 squared is 169. We're going to subtract 25 on both sides. So we get 144. So y is going to be either positive or negative 12. In fact, I take back what I said earlier. These can't both be negative because r is always positive. So now let's figure out if y is going to be positive 12 or negative 12. So that's where the quadrants come in. So we can use all students take calc. Now 3 pi over 2 and 2 pi brings us into the fourth quadrant. So we know we're in this quadrant. And in that quadrant, we can see that any point in the fourth quadrant would have a positive x and a negative y. So this is going to be negative 12. So now we can go ahead and plug in. So I'm going to bring down that 2. Sine is the ratio y over r. So we have negative 12 over 13. Cosine, we already had, is 5 over 13. So now we just need to do some multiplication. So if it makes it easier to look at, we can just put 2 over 1. All right, so we have, oh, I'm sorry, that should be a 5, not a 3. All right, so 5 times negative 12 is negative 60. Negative 60 times 2 is negative 120. 1 times 13 is 169. So let's just write that with the negative in the middle, and we get negative 120 over 169 as our final answer.